Assalamu alaikum. This is me 2 months ago, winning first place in the World Championship in Powerlifting. I won first place in becoming the only Israeli Palestinian Muslim woman powerlifting champion. As I lifted the barbell, weighing 117.5 kilograms on the rack, the weight of the bar and the pressure of the competition made me feel like 10 people were sitting on my shoulders. On the verge of collapse, I believed I could do it, but my body wasn't convinced. I was exhausted. But after I took one look at my children, Shiraz, Rinal, and Muhammad, I knew I couldn't disappoint them. Holding my children's excited gazes, I felt my body rising from squat into a standing position. In that one swift movement, my knees and success locked. أنا اسمي رقية. My name is Roukaya, and I'm a world champion in powerlifting. This is also me. I'm an Arab woman. I come from a traditional, religious, conservative Muslim family, and I live in Jaffa, Israel. For my traditional Muslim society, my choice of powerlifting was totally bizarre. The idea of a woman lifting weights goes against all the norms and conventions of how a woman should behave, and against all social expectations of how a woman should look. How many times have I heard, it's not sexy for women, it's man's sport. And according to many, I won't have babies. They were right. I didn't have babies. I have future champions, my daughters and my son. I know what some of you are thinking. How did I, an Arab woman from a traditional Muslim society, become a power lifter? To answer that question, let me share my journey. A journey that taught me to see the positive in obstacle, to follow my own path despite constant external pressure, and that breaking up a marriage contract at 13 is surprisingly similar to a bench press. At 13 years old, my parents came to greet me when I came home from school and told me, I'm getting engaged to be married at 13. I was shocked. I couldn't believe it. This obstacle felt like a bench press. I felt I'm lying on my back, holding a bar of weight above my chest, pushing it against gravity, hope not to be crushed. I just wanted to go to school and continue with my ballet, hip hop, and modern dancing. Can I refuse? But my parents said, no. We have given our word. The deal is done. I felt like I'm nobody. I felt invisible. I felt lying on my back, the bar crushing me. At 13, my fate was sealed. My life decided. At that moment, I stayed silent. But at 13, my rebellious spirit knew that it wasn't going to happen. After 6 months, with all my strength, I began pushing the bar off of my chest. I came to my father and informed him. أنا بديش أتجوز. I won't get married. And he must support me with this decision if he doesn't want a depressed, dependent daughter with babies at age 16. To my surprise, my traditional father saw me. I mean, he really saw me. And he was preparing to break his word, an issue of honor in Arab culture, and support me. At that moment, my father became my spotter, a powerlifter in term of a guardian, the person who will protect me from harm. That enabled me to lock my elbows and push against the way of society, convention, and expectation away. The second obstacle was like a squat. When I caved to the pressure of my mother to study dentistry, I gave up the one thing I was really passionate about and talented in, dancing. But in a culture that requires women to conform into idea of modesty, ballet, hip hop, and modern dancing were too indecent. Society's judgment set on my shoulders with the responsibility of conforming. I stopped dancing. I felt myself dropping under the weight, no longer capable of standing upright. A part of my soul was taken, but not all of my soul, because I would come home, lock myself in my bedroom, put on headphones, and dance for hours. Outside of my room, I found an outlet for my desire to be powerful enough to stand up for myself. I began powerlifting in a local gym. And with each hour of training and powerlifting, I pushed against the weight on my shoulders. I pushed it until I rose inch by inch. I rose until I was capable of standing upright, despite the constant weight of society, so I could choose my own destiny. I left dentistry and started to pursue my true passion, powerlifting. At 28 years old, I became a professional powerlifter. I rose against the tide and paved my own path. It was after I had become a professional powerlifter that I experienced the third and most challenging obstacle in my life. I suffered a back injury as a result of a fall of an office chair. Ironically, it was not the injury prone sport of powerlifting that left me in a wheelchair, paralyzed in half of my lower body. It was a random, momentary lack of balance. Suddenly, I needed help to do the smallest tasks. Strength and independence transformed to helplessness and dependence. For the 3 years in a wheelchair, I tried desperately to remain optimistic and believed that I would once again pick up the bar that held my hopes and dreams. I reached my breaking point when I met a back trauma expert who gave me only 2%, 2% chance of improvement. I wish I had a photo of me in a wheelchair to show you. But I was so devastated that I couldn't let anyone photograph me this way. I cried hysterically for days. But then it hits me. that once again I have to take control on my fate and find the strength regardless of the dire prognosis. And with the support of my husband and my family, I began working on my recovery. Not all champions are wounded in legendary battles. Sometimes the small momentary lapse in concentration strikes you the hardest. There is no glory in falling off an office chair. But most of the hardest battles are not legendary nor glorious, but personal and unexpected. A true champion is defined by an ability to remain optimistic regardless of the odds and the difficulty of being caught off guard by unexpected obstacles. I had never imagined I would be in a wheelchair. Suddenly, I found myself forcefully imagining walking again. In one of those optimistic moments, I went out without my wheelchair, dragging my paralyzed leg in tow. I moved slowly, very slowly, but I was motivated by the strength and independence of my own motion. This obstacle was like a deadlift. All my hopes and dreams were lying down before me, and I couldn't pick them up. After 3 years in a wheelchair, I took, I took my first unaided steps. I put my hands on the bar, and against all expectation, I once again stood upright and lifted my hope and dreams. Powerlifting holds many lessons for life. In fitness and life, out of weakness comes strength. Torn muscles grow back stronger. Challenging journeys make for greater destinations. But yet, just as in the gym, if you come undefeated, you will not lift even the lightest weight. Success grows from struggle, but a champion grows from taking everlasting, optimistic position on the journey, with all its unexpected challenges and strife. So I would like to leave you with two final messages. Don't get married at age 13. And never be afraid to lift a heavy weight.